A tranquil summer's day at Melbourne's Mornington Peninsula. But there's tension in the air.
The young kids today don't realise they're like a car. They're more powerful than a car. They do the same damage as a car. They don't stop like a car.
We've been in Dramana for the last 20 years. It's just getting worse and worse. Jet skis are going crazy on the water. I'm scared for my kids' life at times.
Residents say their beach is being taken over by jet skis. The sound from the high-powered machines has become an annoying summer soundtrack.
They're everywhere. They're like bees on the water.
It only took us a few moments to find a few eager riders who say it's all just a bit of safe fun. Would you consider yourself a jet ski hoon, or...?
Yeah, a little bit.
Really?
Sometimes.
Isn't it dangerous though for other people using the beach?
No, well, there's a 5-knot zone, so if we go outside, it's fine.
What about the people that say you guys are hoons, you're dangerous, you should be banned?
I think they've got no life.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
They don't know what fun is.
The divide between swimmers and jet skiers is particularly pronounced here. On one side of the jetty, it's swimming only, but on the other side, it's a jet ski thoroughfare. Some beachgoers say they're often fearful of the powerful machines creeping into swimmers only territory.
Just go slow. That's all I'm asking for, and stay on the correct side. That's it. That's all I'm asking for. Don't start getting smart and doing, donuts and stupid things.
The conflict between swimmers and jet skiers has reached fever pitch this summer, according to former tennis pro and newly elected local member Sam Groth.
It's been the number one concern my office has been dealing with since I've taken on this job.
And it's easy to see why. In January, a man was seriously injured after 2 jet skis collided on the water at Safety Beach. Another was captured on video deliberately veering dangerously close to a boat, narrowly averting a collision.
I think most of the locals wouldn't mind seeing the jet skis go.
One Victorian family knows just how deadly these high-powered watercrafts can be. In the summer of 2012, Rob Brewster took one of his 2 daughters to a popular beach along the bay.
It was a warm day in Port Melbourne, and I just finished, I think it was a few weeks into year 12, and I went down to the beach with my dad. We always went down, it was our local beach. We went for a swim. After about 30 minutes, there was a lot of commotion down at the beach, and I realised something serious had happened, and something was really, really wrong.
Rob Brewster was in a designated swimmers-only zone, but a hooning jet skier, Ivan Mackey, was travelling at about 10 times the allowed speed and struck Rob Brewster while he was swimming. It was the first time Mackey had ever been on a jet ski. Georgia Brewster was in the water at the time.
It was just incredibly difficult to comprehend what had happened, especially at such a young age. You go for a swim with your dad, and next moment you're seeing him lifeless on the beach. It's something, it was just horrible.
I was just really upset and quite angry that it was caused by someone who had only just ridden a jet ski that day, and to us that felt like such a preventable death, like it was so avoidable.
After Rob Brewster's death, Ivan Mackey was sentenced to jail for 5 years. He'd had his jet ski licence for just a few days. The coronial inquest into Rob Brewster's death recommended that jet skiers should be subjected to a practical test before they get their licence. Now, the same recommendation was made a decade earlier after another death. But in the intervening 20 years, nothing much has changed. It only takes a few hours of theory study and a short online test for someone to become a fully accredited jet ski rider.
It's something we do fear that might happen to someone else if something's not changed with the jet ski laws.
Alex Ewings is the president of Victoria's Jet Ski Association and says people within the personal watercraft community also support the coroner's recommendation.
It would filter out people who are incompetent of jumping on one and riding out on their own.
The Victorian government didn't comment when asked whether it plans to change licensing rules, but stated that there are significant penalties in place for jet skiers who break the rules. The recent commentary around jet ski hoons has frustrated the small community of personal watercraft enthusiasts who pride themselves on safety.
I guess we're all sort of put in that same basket, and we're not given the benefit of the doubt that we are a reasonable and responsible rider. The common perception of us is very poor.
Jet skis have long been a vexed discussion point across Australian waterways. Jet skiing is popular in Queensland rivers and canals, and hoons have been reported there. In Sydney, jet skis were banned from the harbour almost 2 decades ago. And just over a year ago, a 14-year-old boy was killed by a jet skier in South Australia. Sam Groth, who's now representing the peninsula in Victorian Parliament, says a deterrent for jet ski hoons would be transferring penalties incurred on their watercrafts to their driver's licence.
If you were to actually link the two more closely in terms of the infringements, if you were caught, flouting the speed limits, if you were drinking while you were using a jet ski, if those things directly affected your car licence and your ability to drive, I actually think it would be a major deterrent for people.
But he says there's an issue with enforcement in Victoria. There's just one water police station covering the entire bay. Here at that police station, the top brass say resources are adequate, and over Australia Day weekend alone, they issued 170 jet ski related fines and infringements.
I had a look at some data this afternoon that said there's been a 20% increase in ownership across the past 12 months, so that could play part of it. There's more jet skis on the water.
To overcome logistical challenges, police will often be present at the hoon hotspots.
We obviously can't be everywhere all the time, but we generally task well. We know what the wind's doing. Through our intelligence, we know where the jet skis will be.
Almost 11 years after losing their father, a trip to the beach for the Brewsters is still tinged with melancholy.
Whenever I'm at a beach, it feels like I always think of him, and
watching
he's
him
always
and
here.
Peter Pub at Lawn.
Yeah.
So many good memories.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking. We've had so many milestones, uni, school, and there's so many things that he'll miss, our weddings and having grandchildren, so it really is heartbreaking.
And they hope more action around jet skis can prevent further heartache.
That's probably one of the biggest fears, that it's going to have to take someone else to experience what we've experienced for anything to change with jet skis. It just feels like another death is waiting to happen.